Hi, I'm Ruby with Mantis, and today I will be going over the Mantis X10 and how you can use it in your training. We'll start with how you mount it onto your firearm. You can mount it onto the Picatinny rail of your own firearm. So if you have a notch right here, that's where it would go. I have the SIG P365 with me today though, and it does not have the standard Picatinny rail. So I have it mounted onto my base plate. So if you look at this, this is 3D printed. I took off my old base plate and I slid this on so that I can mount it to the bottom there. In your kit with the X10, you'll have a piece of Picatinny with 3M sticky tape. That can go on the bottom of a flat base plate. If you do not have a flat base plate though, or you have a pinky extension that you'd want to train with, just check out our website at mantisx.com. For other adapters. We might have your magazine in stock. Next, the actual sensor itself is going to look like this. It's got a little clip right here that I can pull back, and that's how I'm going to slide it onto my mag. So come over here, slide it on. The USB port towards you, so the charging port towards me, is going to be a forward orientation, which means the clip will be facing the target like so when you're holding the firearm out. To connect it to the app, you will need to pull up our Mantis X pistol rifle app on the screen, and you will see a basic connect screen. So we click connect here and then power on the unit. You'll see it flashes green. When it connects, it turns to a solid green. I'm going to go into the Mantis X benchmark so you can see the calibration process. If I come right here, set it down, you'll see that red bar start to fill up as it calibrates. Only takes a few seconds, and then from there you're good to go. It is ready to go in your firearm, and you can do dry fire practice or live fire. Since I am in a building, in my office, I will be using it dry fire, so no ammo loaded in my firearm. Shove it in, and it just mounts on just like that. I'm going to make sure my settings are correct. This is where I will add in a screen recording so that you can see everything. Now it says dry fire. It is oriented forward, and I can click start. It does have my model, so if you look on the very bottom of the screen, somewhere over here, it should say 6 Warrior P365 9mm. So I click start, and this is the overall scoring page, but I'm going to click the button in the top right, the play button. That's the live trace. This is everything I'm doing right now. You can kind of see how wiggly I am as I'm moving. So up, down, left, right, you can see all of it. As I take a few shots, I'm going to rack it. And then just make sure it's clear a few more times and go. Okay, that was 3 shots. Now I'm going to slide over into my trace screen. I'm going to set my firearm down. Blue is going to be as you are aiming or pressing or aiming or holding that gun. Yellow is the trigger press back itself. So as you're pulling the trigger back, my muzzle on this shot kind of looped down and to the left before my shot broke. And the X is where the shot broke. Red is post-shot movement, recoil, after-shot action. So that was my first shot, pulled low and to the left. Then we come over here. Second shot was good. If it's above a 95, you're going to get a white dot on another screen. So no corrective actions for anything above a 95, which means I only have one red marker when I slide over to my diagnostic page. Got the red marker, I'm going to click it, and you'll see that there is a correct image and an incorrect image on the screen. It's going to show you visually what you're doing wrong so that you can see it and kind of put the pieces together with the paragraphs below. The first paragraph explains what I did wrong, like how that happened, and the second paragraph below is going to show you how to correct it. So each of these sections or red markers that you get is going to give you a new error with videos, pictures, or whatever else we think you might need that helps you connect the dots to your movement and how to clean it up so that the marksmanship side of your drill is that much smoother. I'm going to come back now and I'm going to go to that scoring page that originally popped up with the Mantis X benchmark. It's going to give me my average score and then also the total time. So shot order on the left, scores in the center, and then time on the far right. In the center with my scores, you'll see that red trophy. The red trophy is going to indicate your highest score. The gray trophy is going to show you what your lowest score is. And then we've got the little clock on fire, and we've got a gray one and a red one. Red one is your fastest, gray one's your slowest, just kind of quick data that you can just check on and see. One thing I like to check is like, does your lowest score coordinate with the fastest time? Does it correlate with the slowest time? How are you reacting when you're pulling that trigger faster or slower in between your splits? This is especially important when we move over into live fire practice, because if you speed it up and you become less consistent, you might be able to track that on this portion of the app. I'm going to go back over here. So if I was on the Mantis benchmark, I could swipe over 2 times, and the top graph is going to give me my progression throughout the drill. So the first shot was the lowest. You can see that with the little red dot, and then I got a 95 and a 95, so it looks like it plateaued. Then on the bottom, that trigger press movement versus the hold movement, that shows how much you had for each of the shots. We want to keep them as skinny as possible. And you can see like for the first to the second shot. So first shot, blue, second shot had a lot less. So it was way more dialed in for the second shot versus the first. And you can see how I came into that target with the hold movement. And there was so much more movement in that hold or as I was aiming before that was completed. On the bottom right side of the screen, right by the stop button, you're going to see a notes tab. I had different people shooting, so we're going to just delete some of those guys, and you can say, hey, I was on target for this one, so I started on target. And I was just aiming from here. You can also put, hey, I wanted to start from low ready. All these drills were from low ready and up. Really, any notes that you have, like it's windy, I was doing 10 yards, you can put that into that and save it. And you can even take a picture on the bottom left of the save button. Come back. And let's go back to the trace screen. On the top right side of it, you're going to see the cant in degrees. The negative 7.1 means that instead of holding it completely level, I decided to just cant it a little bit this way. And as long as you're consistent with your cant, that is going to be all you need to look at. Because not everyone is going to be 100% 0 degrees the entire time. And you can see that it was negative 7.9, negative 7, and negative 6.8 with the deviation on the right when you click into that. So if I return to traces, all I did was that little square in the top right corner. I clicked it, and that's what brings me up to that screen. If you forget and you don't have this video up and handy for any of the information on these screens, there's an info button in the top left. So if I click that, it's going to show me my hold on target, the trigger press, the post-shot movement, and then walk you through everything on that screen so that you know how to read it in case I wasn't available or you just can't remember what blue meant or the even play trace button. If I go here, you can also see the ring guide in yards. If I click that, let's say up to 20, and it's going to change it and give me a link to the sheet so that you can see everything there. And like, hey, if my group was about an inch or in the first ring, what does that correlate to if I was at 5 yards? It's a fun, little quick guide that you can use if you want to see, like, what am I actually doing if I was doing live fire. Okay, I'm going to click stop, and that will give me my just summary. Mantis X benchmark, 94.8 average with a total time of 12.1 seconds. It does have my goal listed on there, so I haven't completed it. I just started this today, so it's going to give me the 50 shots with the 6%, since I only did 3 shots. Click done, back, and now I'm back to this drill page. The open training, shot timer, par timer, benchmark, 20-second benchmark, all of these drills are going to give you information like the first one, like the Mantis X benchmark. So those screens are pretty much universal. It's just the drill itself changes. So if I want to go into, let's say, support hand only, you're going to see that it switches it to left-handed in my just basic screen. We've got the goal set up, so it says precision shooting using your support hand or non-dominant, and then instructions. Shoot only using your support hand, review your scores in trace view. This drill is not timed. Press the drill icon to modify drill behavior. So you can change it in the settings to have buzzers, which would be your shot timer. And you can change that from 1 to 4 seconds all the way up to 15 to 18 seconds. You can change your shot count. It's automatically going to start at 10, and you can repeat it if you want to, 1, 2, 15 times. Go back down, repeat once. It will also show you the ready position, so if you don't want to use it in your notes, you can click on this, and you can say on target, holster, retention, low ready, high ready. Just depends on how you train and how you want to track your data. Okay, other, no beep. And then you can click a part time. So you can set it so that it ends within a certain amount of time. Like let's say you want to get 10 shots off in a minute. You set it to a minute, and then it would end the drill at the end of that minute. Click done. I'm going to actually reset it so that it's back to normal. Then I press start, and again, you're going to see that basic summary page, diagnostic page, our graph, our trace, and our live view where you can see what is happening with the device right now. You can click through any of the drills you want to do, and it's going to give you all the information you need in order to take it and move to the next level. There are ways that you can start this so that you are working with basic fundamentals and marksmanship and slowly improving with speed and holster draw from there. My suggestion for you is that if you are deciding to train and you're at a beginner level, I would start with the Mantis X benchmark, which is a 10-shot drill, and work on your fundamentals until you get to at least an 85 average for your score. So 10 shots, 85 average. That's what we're looking at before we add into the drill, like timing, essentially. So 1, Mantis X benchmark, do that drill 85 or higher. Then I would move you down to what I call, or what they call, the compressed surprise break. Click into it. This one is going to give you the goal of learn to break the shot quickly while maintaining your accuracy. Instructions: begin with the firearm on target, your finger on the trigger. On each buzzer, fire 1 shot as quickly as you can with no firearm movement. You're still trying to be fast and accurate. Prepare for the next buzzer and continue. This drill is timed. Press the drill icon to modify the behavior essentially again. So if I press start,
shooter ready,
go. So it's going to beep, and then I would take my shot,
ready,
and then it's going to reset automatically if I don't. And the point of this is so that you can get used to, on an audio or even visual, you can turn the sound down and just use the go screen. How quickly can you pull the trigger, and how do your scores vary? Do you stay at an 85, or do you drop down to 60s, 50s? Where are you, and how can you bring it back up to that 85 zone? Once you're done with the 85. So let's say you get compressed surprise break to 85 from on target. Now you can mix it up a little bit. I like saying that there's 4 levels to compressed surprise break before you move on to the next step. You can start with on target, high ready, low ready. Technically, I just do low ready. I know that the drill has high ready in it, but low ready, just start from low ready, come up in the holster. Every time the buzzer goes off, take a shot. And then last, my favorite is so fun. So you would change the drill just a little bit. So you would give yourself a par time. So I would set my par time to, let's say 1 minute, just to be safe, you know. Or, sorry, let me rephrase. Let's set it to like 15 seconds. Done. And then click done. I would have to get this done in 15 seconds or less. I would set it up to where my firearm was where it belongs at night. So in the nightstand, in the lockbox or stop box that I use. And I would click start and I would see how long it takes me to get out of my bed, grab my firearm, get it out, and point at the door and take 1 shot. And that's one way that you can really push your skills and push your limits in your own home or your own space so that you know how you respond to that buzzer or that sound in your own home with your own firearm working in your own space. And you can tell like, hey, if something were to happen, it takes me 6 seconds from a training mode, which is not necessarily cold. You can do cold, of course, cold training, which would be starting with no other training practice in it or started. So just say, hey, I'm going to start compressed surprise break immediately and see how I do. And say, let's say 7 seconds is the best you got. So if something were to happen and you have a reaction time of 7 seconds, how does that affect your home security plan? What do you need to change? Is there anything you can change? It's great to use this to understand your skills and your limitations in your own environment. Now, you can be as simple or as complex as you want to with the compressed surprise break. Just give yourself the par time that you need. Like, let's say from getting to the sofa to your kitchen. Let's say your gun's in your kitchen all the time. We're looking at how long, like, do you need 15 seconds so that you know that the shot will be covered and it won't reset beforehand? That's really what we're looking at here. Now, I'm going to go back, and we started with Mantis X benchmark, 10 shots, get 85 or higher, then go into compressed surprise break, and that's where you can do the on target, low ready from the holster, and the fun one, which would be from your bed, kitchen, living room, wherever. When we come over and go into the decision drills, that would be drill 3 to look at. So I'm going to click decision, and you're going to see shoot, no shoot, colors, shapes, dice, and addition. This is working on your reaction time while you are actually paying attention and thinking through whether you should take your shot or not. I'm going to go into shapes first. So it's going to show you the blue star. If you see the blue star, you shoot.
Shooter ready.
If not, we've got the pink circle, and then you would shoot because it's right there. Essentially, it's going to make you look at it, understand it, and then you shoot at your target, which is not your phone. Your target can be anything, because essentially you're just looking at the movement up from the start of the trigger pull to the end of it. How much movement are you deviating from the start to the finish with that muzzle? So you're shooting at, let's say, your favorite light switch, or not your favorite light switch, but target, light switch, whatever you use as your target. The screen itself in this drill is going to be what you're using as your confirmation to shoot. So you will visually see that it's time to shoot, and then you will act on your target. I like doing this in 2 different ways. Sometimes I'll set up my phone right near the target so I can see it and the target's pretty much right there. Other times I will set it up on my fireplace behind me, and I will be turned that direction, and my target will be this way. So once I see that I need to shoot on that side, I turn around and I shoot that way towards my target. That way it gives me a little bit more of moving shooting practice before I end up taking the shot and doing the drill. Shapes is probably one of the most simple. I think that the decision drill addition is the hardest because I'm not a math person at all. And you'll see, because it says equal to 7 right now. And then you count. And it changes every time.
Shooter ready.
So equal to 7 again. And then you count it up.
Shooter.
Again. So it changes quite a bit, and you're able to actually see everything there. Just know that you do not have to shoot at your phone. This is not part of the drill where you would look at the app itself and aim your firearm there, because you can use it live fires. So we want you to be able to shoot at your steel targets, your paper targets, whatever you decide, your cardboard. That way you are shooting with your own scenario in mind. That's why the Mantis X10 right here is so handy. It's because you can use it on everything. There's one more drill that I want to show you guys called the holster draw analysis. This is only on the Mantis X10. That is also why the adapter plate or the piece of Picatinny is included with the Mantis X10, is so that when you put it in your holster, you don't have to worry about it getting in the way and you can use the one that you already have. I'm going to go to the history just because I don't have my holster set up quite right for showing you guys this right in the moment, but it's going to break up your draw into 5 segments of time. You're going to get on the bottom, it's going to show you your time to grip, how long it takes to grab the gun. Then blue is going to be pulling it out of the holster. Teal is going to be getting that gun flipped to horizontal. Brown is punching out to the target. And the orange is going to be pressing that shot off, or once you're fully extended, all your hold movement and all that from there. You're going to see those 5 segments of time, and you can see how the bars kind of go down, up, or whatever. That's showing you how consistent you are with each section of the draw stroke. The total times up top, the average bars on the far left are going to be just showing you what your average is overall for that session. So we only have 3 holster draws here, with the faded bars being the average. Come over, and this is going to be a appendix draw on this screen, and the colors coordinate back and forth. So if I click over here and swipe over, green, blue, teal, brown, orange, green, blue, teal, brown, orange. So that's going to show you how you moved as you went to grip, pull, come up to horizontal, and come out. Because this is an appendix draw, that trace goes over at a 45-degree angle. If you were doing a strong side carry, it should be more up and down, kind of straight. And then fanny pack, you have to clear the bag a lot of times. So on the bottom portion of that screen, you're going to have almost like a C cup or loop, and then an appendix draw out. It will show you your heat map of how you were accelerating or decelerating into that draw and where your shot broke up here. The best way to set up for this drill is to set up where you are like a post-it note size. You still want to aim and hit small, miss small. So hang up something that's the equivalent of a post-it note, use your light switch, something along those lines, so that you have that to look at. You can also press play and see how it looks as you are moving and coming up and into the target right there. So you can compare your draws. If we look at this screen, you're going to see the gray lines. Those are your previous draws or the other ones. You can see how consistent or inconsistent you are. Like for this draw, the loop was going over, like as they were pulling, they just kind of pulled over and to the left before coming up as they were grabbing and going. The smoother this screen is, or that line is, the less inefficient movement you have from in your holster to on target. You're going to have to work with your own data to see what fits your body type, how you carry, like what do you have to get around, because we're women. We've got some extra things to go around sometimes. So just understand that every trace is going to be a little bit different, and you're trying to work on getting it as smooth and fast as possible for how you want to train. This drill is really important though if you're switching anything up, like switching from fanny pack to fanny pack, or let's say I have the Zindira bag and grab bags. So between the two bags, I can actually test what my time is with my different outfits or my appendix carry. How fast am I in the outfit that I'm currently wearing? Because winter coats are going to change how quickly and efficiently you draw. This will give you the reinforcement to understand, hey, this is the right way for me to carry, or no, it's not the right way for me to carry this time. Again, there's a note button. You can do pistol, gun type just for that one. You can put in your firearm, right-handed, and then put in a note that says like grab bag Marshall, or Zindira Friday, or Zindira Friday active. And that way you know exactly how quickly you can draw with that specific bag. Okay, go back. And last but not least for this drill page, I want to show you the bottom. There are courses built into the app. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, we've got basic marksmanship, combat, basic concealed, double action diligence. These are just fun ways for you to start drills without actually having to think about how you're going to set up your training. It'll walk you through, hey, open up the Mantis benchmark and do this drill. Then we also have the patches on the right side. Sorry about that. So the patches themselves, if you complete each of these courses, we send you a free patch in the mail. So that's a really fun way to do things. On the group side though, you can create groups. Like League City, a girl and a gun is on here. It shows their shooting sessions. You guys can shoot virtually together. Official Mantis competition is a good one to join. It shows who has the most shots, how their session has gone, and you can see that these guys will show what patches they've earned through the courses in the group settings. You can go to the conversation, and then you can actually talk back and forth with people depending on how good your service is for that. And then let's say an official rose, let's go back to this guy. If we click into that, you can see what their past sessions were, click into it, and as an instructor, this might be helpful too because you can keep track of your students a little bit better and help them virtually just by even looking at their trace. In the settings, you can change the group name. You can give them a goal, like let's say total shots, member shots, or even give them a drill of the week to try. And you can sort it by shots. You can make it open or closed so you can have a private group or a public group so other people can join. And you can hide it or make it visible so other people can find it or they can't find it. Let's see. Last but not least, settings. This is where you would change pistol, rifle, what gun you're shooting. You can create your own arsenal of firearms to put in there. You can do right-handed or left-handed. Make sure you change that because it swaps the data around, because left-handed shooters, if they pull low and to the left, that's the opposite of what a low and to the left right-handed shooter would be doing. The shot detection mode can be live fire, dry fire, or more, like CO2, double action, CERT, dry fire mag, or T-trigger. Those are just other options that you can use for training with your firearm. And then this is where it's important to make sure your mount is put on correctly because it needs to know up, down, left, right, the acceleration correctly. The mount location is on the bottom. of the gun because it's the bottom. The mount location is more for rifles when you would put it on the top Picatinny or right or left side, essentially. You can edit your profile. You can see that this is Leaderboard Texas. Click down and you can add guests so that they don't ruin your scores. If you have a family at home, you can set it up so that your family can have different profiles and you guys can all compete in your own group. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I hope you enjoyed this and you got some information out of it that you needed.